All right. Hey, guys. Yeah. Okay, so hold on. Perfect. There you go. All right, one more. As I was dreaming into you now and forever. All right, cool. So as the thumbnail says, we're gonna do 5 rounds per time. Today's gonna be just a classic CrossFit triplet of deadlift. So medium weight deadlift, good old fashioned pull-ups and hand release push-ups. 2 things I tend to stay away from because they're basic or because quite honestly, I'm not good at them. So today we're gonna actually do them. Yeah, so this is gonna be a good one. And then 25 cals on the bike. So, yeah. So we got 5 rounds, 10 deadlifts at 225, 15 pull-ups, 20 hand release push-ups, and 25 cals on the bike. Strategy is definitely gonna be probably 2 sets of 5 on the deadlifts just so that my grip doesn't blow up. And then maybe even singles. I mean, I don't know. I honestly haven't done deadlifts as a part of a WOD in a long time. I've done some heavy deads recently, lots of cleans. I haven't necessarily done deads as a part of a WOD in a while. So I don't want my traps and my arms to blow up. So I'm probably not going to try to hold onto the bar for too long. But I would like to do sets of 5 at least. And then pull-ups are probably going to be singles. It really just depends. Here's the goal. Time cap's 30 minutes. I really would like these to stay around 5-minute rounds. Now, I have no idea if that's actually doable. But I think this one should go relatively quick today. So you're going to be able to see. I might actually move my stuff so you guys can see me a little bit better because I like this view from back here. The only thing is you can't really even see the clock anyway, can you? So you know what? Screw it. We're going to change this position. You can't see the clock anyway. So I think we'll just change this up a little bit. Okay, so we'll keep this like here, and I'll move the deadlift bar so you guys can see me. And then we'll move the bike. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, just finishing touches on last sips of coffee as we always know. I've already done my warm up. So yeah, let's see, notes on yesterday. I felt really beat up. I mean, like I've actually got like little light bruises you can see on my arms from the sandbag. That sandbag workout really beat me up. But again, I gotta praise the massage gun, you know, warm bath kind of yoga type coming down from it during the evening definitely helped. And it's sprinkled throughout, like 5 minutes here and there with the gun on the shoulders, and then did some on the quads and the hammies. It's really, really good for the hamstrings because it's so hard to actually get your hamstring complex to kind of relax. So, and as we know, like foam rolling doesn't usually do it. So that massage gun really helps. Anyway, feeling well enough to do another kind of majority arms type workout, even the deadlifts, holding onto the bar, a lot of traps, a lot of upper back. But I really wanted to I like to do simple and straightforward on Mondays. Not necessarily easy, but simple and straightforward. So like you'll probably almost never see me, unless I'm just really inspired to do something crazy, you'll almost never see me do some sort of crazy movement or gymnastic skill that's like way outside my abilities on a Monday. Mondays I like to nail down the basics and work things that I haven't necessarily worked in a while. So again, pull-ups, just good old-fashioned pull-ups, hammer release push-ups, haven't done those in a while, and honestly haven't done medium weight deadlifts in a while in terms of in a WOD. So this is kind of like, just good old-fashioned, hey man, can you like really nail down the basics kind of workout. Again, my ego is kind of telling me, oh, do ring push-ups or do dips. It's like, dude, can you just do 5 rounds of 20 push-ups? Like 100 hand release push-ups for me is going to get really tough. And to be quite honest, like knowing myself, the pull-ups and the push-ups are going to be the toughest. Luckily with the pull-ups is I can just start doing singles and make it work pretty efficiently throughout. It's really going to come down to the push-ups. Can I keep doing sets of 5 and 10 in a row without stopping? And then also, actually, to be quite honest, the entire crux of this workout was I wanted to do a salt bike. I was like, I really want to do a salt bike today. So I kind of came up with this, like, hey, do a classic triplet of a hinge, a push, and a pull, which is what this is. And then, oh yeah, by the way, do 25 cals on the bike, which if you've ever been on one of these bikes, you know it's pretty terrible. So yeah, this is kind of a basic circuit type workout. Very straightforward, but really good stuff. Things that I want to be able to be really good at is pull-ups and push-ups, and it's just one of those things there are 2 of those things that I just tend to avoid. So anyway, without further ado, we're gonna get to it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, sip my last sip of coffee. So in about 5 minutes, we'll get going. I've got all my peripherals on today for the pulling on the pull-ups. That sandbag really messed up my fingertips, which is odd. It like made my fingertips split in half. So that thing beat me up, man. But honestly, even though that was 50 cleans with the sandbag, everything's feeling pretty good today. So yeah, we're gonna go for it and see what happens today. Probably gonna put on my whiny emo music again. Having fun listening to that. So if you don't like it, go ahead and turn down your volumes now. This is probably not going to be one of those workouts like yesterday. There were so many things I kept going to the camera and saying like, man, I can't believe this, or oh, this is way tougher than I thought. Today's not going to be like that per se. I might give a couple of notes in the to the camera, but I pretty much know already what to expect. The deadlifts is a strength for me, but I'm definitely going to break them up just to save my grip. The pull-ups will probably go way slower than I want them to. Same with the push-ups, and then the bike. I think my ego is like, oh yeah, you'll totally be able to do bike. 25 cals could take anywhere up to 2 minutes. So I kind of going back to what I was saying about the whole crux of this workout being the assault bike. I really wanted to do a time cap and a workout today that was going to force me to go fast on the bike. If I go too slow on the bike, this is going to take way longer than 6 minutes around. And so if you're doing math at home, that's basically with rest included, a minute to a minute 15 for the other movements each. And then 2 minutes or less on the bike, and that, again, that's with rest. So I would like to get off the bike and have at least 30 seconds, 45 seconds to rest between the next round. Who knows? I might have to get right to the bar and start gripping and ripping. So, and kind of from a strategy standpoint, what I said yesterday is totally true even for a workout like this. Like I don't want to necessarily sprint on the bike and then be like this, waiting for the deadlifts. Like that's not fun for me, and that's not smart in terms of like optimal efficiency. So, but I'm going to have to push the pace in a certain way on the bike. So we'll see how fast I have to push it. Anyway, give me a couple minutes. We'll be right back. We'll get it cracking. Alright, let's get it, Bob. Ten seconds.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know if I want to use the grips or not.
Sorry, I'm not sure. Take me back over Something like silver.
Oh,
Taking on 7 years, I only know as I grow. Catch my arms, kick like crazy. I've been trying way too long. I'm pushed away, I'm dying. I'm sorry, sorry, I'm not sure. No, You were sure I'd be fine. Only push the way out to find you. I'm sorry, sorry, I'm not sure. Take all my chance.
Last round. Last round. Go. Go. Oh my gosh, that really sucked. That was cool. Man, that was fun. That was a really fun one. 2-4-4-1. 2-4-4-1 was my total time. Just phenomenal, man. Wow. What I really liked about that workout was the fact that my legs were actually smoked after the first round. Because again, it feels like a lot of upper body. But if we're being real, obviously deadlifts are lower body, both quads and hamstrings, primarily hamstrings and glutes. But it's a little bit of everything, obviously. Total body exercise. And then you get single kipping pull-ups. Well, first of all, there's no way I would have been able to do this workout as quickly as I did if I was doing even doubles or triples. So I really liked my strategy there, but what does a jumping, kipping pull-up do versus like sets of 5 even? Well, you jump, uses your legs, you kip, uses your legs, and then you land, uses your legs. So really interesting how, and then obviously on push-ups, you're like holding your body up with your quads. I even had to no rep myself a couple times because I basically was doing a knee push-up for the first one on those later rounds when I could like barely muster up the strength. I kept moving on the floor too because I was lining myself up with the tape that's on the floor, but the tape is resistant to absorbing sweat. So of course I got a mop, but so it would just be like this pool of sweat. So I didn't want to like put my face on that the next time, so then I just moved down and down. So there's just like 3 or 4 piles of sweat here. Yeah, but like really interesting the way that the legs were involved just right from the get-go. Obviously a ton of upper body, but that didn't become a problem really until the later rounds, like probably really 4 and 5 were the only rounds I started feeling my lats and my shoulders a little bit. I had a little bit of a tweak in here, and these kind of like intercostal muscles right here, kind of around the collarbone, mostly due to the awkwardness of that sandbag yesterday. Again, they were covered just a little strange, so I felt them. This is a really good example of like times it's appropriate to push through. So like, when you're working as hard as everybody does who goes into a gym, I don't care what kind of gym you go into, if you're working hard, that there's gonna be times where you're gonna feel something funky in your knees, in your elbows, in your shoulders, specifically those spots for sure. Even sometimes a muscle spasm or two, or something weird. You're gonna feel something that isn't necessarily like homeostasis, or at least in your mind isn't. So knowing your body and knowing when to push through appropriately or when to stop. I've done workouts where I've stopped for sure. Like heard a snap, a funky knee pop basically. Is it worth pushing through at that point, especially if I'm doing a heavy squat day? Absolutely not. So basically, the point is like, I felt this thing, I knew what it was from. I kind of decided to myself to keep an eye on it and kind of made a bargain with myself. Keep going. If it still feels funky or gets worse in the next round, you're gonna cut it short or stop. And it warmed up to the point where it was fine. So that's a really good example of like knowing when to push through, but like doing it in a smart way. Like, and really even in the moment, it made me change my hand position a little bit. So maybe I wasn't quite so up here on my push-ups, really making sure that I was loaded in my lats and my biceps and triceps, and my scapula was really on point, like making sure that was really here instead of here. Just that little difference can make the difference on how you're using those muscles in the front. So, wow, that was really cool. I haven't done a workout like that in a long time, and I'm really glad I programmed that because that was just good old-fashioned push-pull, good old-fashioned 225 on the deads, which again, I haven't done in a while. And man, just throwing the bike. It was really, last thing I'll say with this workout, which was really fun about it. Oh, so before I forget, my splits were 343. So then I looked up at the clock and I was like, there's no way I'm going sub 20 on this workout. So I actually rested until about 4:15 on the first round, I think, maybe 4:10 before I even lifted the barbell. And then past that, I just kind of like, whenever I could breathe, I just picked up the barbell. So my splits were 343, 825. So you can see I already had that rest kind of built in there. 1339 and 1941, and then finally 2441. So yeah, really the longest round was the 4th, as expected. That round of rounds 3 and 4, especially 4 of a 5-round workout. Blues. But yeah, throwing in the bike in this workout was absolutely torturous and phenomenal because, you basically get off the ground after doing push-ups, you're winded. What was cool about it is on the pull-ups, I was like, dude, just get to the push-ups. You're gonna be able to knock out 5 to 10 at a time, and then it's just bike. So it actually mentally was like a carrot for me to keep going forward. But then as soon as I'd get on the bike, it was like quicksand. It was like a quagmire. I was like, dude, I can't move. It was really funny. So I kept saying like, oh, I'll make up time on the bike. Oh, I'll make up time on the bike. Holy crap. I think the only round I actually made up time on the bike was the last round, but even still, that was just torture. So anyway, fun workout. 5 rounds for time, 10 deadlifts at 225, 15 pull-ups, 20 hand release push-ups, 25 calories on the bike. I did it in 24 minutes and 41 seconds. If you want to go ahead and try it, try it. It's a fun one. Definitely a lot more legs than I thought, that's for sure. Oh God. Okay. See you guys soon. Do, 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 do.